How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Monday. It's September already. September 2020 or tomorrow. One of these days is September. But what? Four months left to the year. 1/4 of a year left. 3/4 down. 1/4 left. Did I get my math right? All right. 4 months. 12 months. That's eight. Oh shit! I got my math wrong. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. 2/3 down. 1/3 to go. Much better. See, this is why I wish I was a boomer. You come to look at 2020. I was making videos before the pandemic. Let me have fun with this. How long can this last? We're now in September. It was March. Now 6 months fast forward. 6 months already gone when this whole thing started in March. 6 months of our lives were just robbed. Do you understand that, ladies and gentlemen? 6 months of your life, people that passed away, people that are gonna pass away. You just lost 6 months of your life. So it got me thinking, like, I wish I was a boomer. Because while I was quarantined, I used to watch a lot of nostalgic stuff. I'm from the 90s, 80s. I'm listening to 60s music, ladies and gentlemen. Cousin, I'm listening to 60s, 70s, and 80s now. I'm turning back the clock, Cousin Brucey. WABC, Cousin Brucey, AM music. I'm listening to that stuff. I cannot stand rap music. I hate it. Even the 90s. I'm like, I'm starting to binge watching South Park. And what an amazing show. I You got, yep, all those retired people living the high life. I made fun of boomers. I made fun of them. Oh, these, you know what? I would have done the same thing. I would have sold the future generation out too. They probably knew, hey, 2020 is probably the last year. Who cares? Let's just drive Lamborghinis, live in Florida, get a boat, go bankrupt. Woohoo! Jimmy Buffett. Boomers are smart. I cannot make fun of boomers anymore. I just can't. They're really smart. They played it well. They're like, the next generation is kind of dumb. So why sacrifice our happiness for this next generation? Let's just get our social security, this, and that. So you know what? Boomers are pretty smart. Gotta give it to them. You know what? Can't say nothing bad about them. But man, I wish I grew up in the 60s, 70s, 80s. I would have seen those riots in the 60s, 70s and been like, now, I would have, wow, 2020, these riots are kind of worse. I've experienced 9/11. Not many crazy things and what we're going through now, but the boomers experienced wars, Vietnam. How many presidents? Reagan. I don't want to be misquoted, but you lived through all those presidents, and now you see the world now. At least you can look back and say, "Damn, I lived a good life. I went to Woodstock. I slept around with a bunch of men and women at Woodstock." Who knows, right? That's what happens at Woodstock. Everybody was just banging each other in Woodstock in the mud. But yeah, we could laugh at it now. Yeah, it's full of piss and feces and people. But it's Woodstock, a bunch of hippies. Come on, who would have thought that was right? Drugs, sex, and rock and roll. I listen to 60s music, 70. Man, that gets me happy. I'm banging my feet, um, snapping my fingers, moving along, jiving, and then jump, makes you want to dance. Then you put the music now. Back then women sang about love and love and mystery and wanting somebody back. Guys too. And then now you have to just generate garbage. You can't even find R&B. I was also thinking Spanish music, merengue, salsa. Like they haven't made a new album in like 20 years. Mark Anthony hasn't made new music in like 20 years. You keep hearing the same songs from the 90s of Mark Anthony over and over again. Like what's going on? They ran out of instruments, beats. I don't know. It's just everything was better. TV shows. You remember TGI Fridays, just running home to watch TV. None of this TiVo crap. None of this Netflix. Just waiting to get home after work to watch your favorite TV show. I got to experience that in the 90s. I used to love Power Rangers. I used to like want to skip school just to watch Power Rangers. Or 24, Prison Break. Those great shows in the 2000s. I think everything started changing around 9/11. I divide my life pre 9/11 and after 9/11. It really changed after 9/11. Before 9/11, it was more, and then after 9, it just started declining, declining. As I got older, declining, declining, declining. It's just weird. And then I look back, I'm like, damn, I wish I lived through that stuff, right? Like the rock and roll, that good music, man. That's some great music. I forgot the guy's name. Every step I take, every move. Puff Daddy made a song about that. Like all the Puff Daddy songs, the P Diddy, there's another song, Notorious. And Puff Daddy ripped those songs off from the '60s. I'm like, these idiots. I did not know this until 2020. So you can see how that goes. But man, I wish I was a boomer. And everything is being rehashed. They did it in the '90s. They rehashed the music from the '60s, '70s, '80s, and the '90s. Now they're just rehashing everything. It's like people run out of ideas. What's going on with society now? People have no new ideas. People are scared to open up their minds. You don't have that creativity, that liberty to create anymore. You're scared. Oh, can I make this joke? Oh, I can't say this. I could get canceled. Now, nothing is funny. Comedies. There's no comedies. The only comedy I know is comedies is South Park, and that's because they get away with a lot of stuff, and that's what I find funny. You watch South Park and you're like, wow, these foul mouth fourth graders since 1998, but they relate to what's going on in the world. I'm watching episodes from like 2010. Actually, I started watching the 2007 episodes before Obama got first elected. So they talked about Obama. They didn't really make fun of Obama during his Obama years. I noticed that. During when Obama was president for 8 years, they didn't really make fun of him a lot. Everything else around it, they did. How people went crazy because of him, had this and that. All transgender. They were making fun of transgenders in 2008, 2009. Men walking around shaved, men walking pregnant, and all that was comedy in 2008 and 9 is actually reality now. That's the messed up part. You know, and when I was watching it the first time around in the 2000s, and you're like, ah, come on, that's never gonna happen. Get out of here. Two guys, and one of them transformed into a woman. Mr. Garrison, get out of here. That's impossible. How's that possible? They even had Jesus. How they shamed Jesus. They said Jesus was a cheater. So it might sound messed up, but there's a hidden message behind it. Just like now, we took out God and prayer from everything, even the flag. You don't see the flag waving high. Sometimes I'm driving on the highway and I see the American flag, and it's special because you don't see the American flag flying around anymore. Not even in schools. I used to remember seeing American flags waving in public schools. You don't see that anymore. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the flags are sick because of the pandemic. I don't know. And the messed up thing for 9/11, they were not gonna turn on the two lights for 9/11 because of the pandemic. Like that was a tragedy that happened in 9/11, and to the victims of the families to not mourn and not remember that day. Whatever happened to never forget. It's like history is being wiped. We're supposed to learn this new thing. And the thing that happened with the Patriot J over the weekend, the Patriot Prayer, man, like it's sad. It sucks that doing this political stuff, you could get killed. You're not supposed to. Yeah, you might fight, throw stuff at each other, but not shoot somebody, not execute somebody over political ideas. Like boomers, I bet you the boomers never talked about the political affiliation until now. And now you're getting shot because you wear a hat. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you guys could listen, watch. I don't think you will, but you could watch my old videos. And I said, I'm not too excited about Trump. I'm not excited about Trump because he's allowing all this to happen. You know why? Because he's gonna get elected because of it. And honestly, I want Trump to win, and I'm probably gonna vote now. Said I wasn't because I'm not excited, but I watched some of the RNC last week. It got me pumped, and seeing everything that's going on, you know, I would feel guilty not to vote. Even if he loses, at least I tried. I didn't want Biden, but not even as a joke, I can vote for Biden. It's just horrible, horrible the things that are going on. We're witnessing everything. When I used to go to high school, the flag was there in some classroom, not all. Some kids don't even stand for it. Yeah. I used to go to school. We used to do the Pledge of Allegiance every morning. We had assemblies. We learned the songs. I don't think kids nowadays know the song. That's the problem. There's no allegiance to this country. There's no allegiance to the flag. That's why you see flags burning, Bibles burning. The Bible doesn't mean anything to these people. They took that away from them when they were young. So you can't blame these young people. You got to blame those hippies, though, the ones that I was just talking about, the sex, drugs, and rock and rolls. They became teachers. I grew up in the public school system. I went to college. I even went to college a few years ago. I graduated from them. And I tell you, every teacher is a socialist, Marxist professor. You get indoctrinated in the college. You're sending your kid, you could have the most patriotic kid at 18. You're sending your kids off to college this week or last week or next week. They're coming back liberals. Your boys will be coming back as girls. Your girls will probably become a TikTok porn star, to make extra money in college. That's what's gonna happen. That's what college does. I think college is the real reason a lot of this stuff is going on. You're paying to indoctrinate your kids. Oh, I want my kids to go to Harvard. Yeah, they're gonna come out to be a liberal douchebag. That's what's pumping out of these colleges, high school. It's just a daycare for adults. And I'm talking from experience. I got a bachelor's degree. I'm not talking crap. I went through the system. I graduated. I saw it with my own eyes. If I didn't play the game, I would have now graduated. You know how many anti-Trump essays I had to write? I did it. I played the game to win, to get out. I graduated and I got out. But these kids have to believe that. I remember writing one of my hippie professors, hippie, I tell you, boomer, ponytails, glasses, your typical bagel professor. Hey guys, glasses, no, all that typical. With the little ponytail, he's bald in the front, but got the ponytail in the back. Your typical. Anyways, my first paper, I remember I got a D minus. Like he was like, I didn't want to give you the F, but it was something about America growing up to be individual as a Latino. It was a paper. I was like, we come to this country to be independent, and follow the American dream. I even wrote American Dream, and I got a D minus. The next paper, I just copied down everything he said, and I just wrote it down in an essay. I got a B, then an A minus, and then I ended up passing. Posting the live videos, yeah. Thank you, 1776. 1776. Oh man, yeah, my crazy professor. You guys remember that? Yo, I just remember. I should have saved those videos. I was supposed to make a huge documentary on that with my crazy professor, the one that urged us to go protesting. I actually got extra credit for going to protest. I went for May Day. May Day, I got extra credit for going to May Day. I wrote a quick little paper on that for extra credit. It was my English professor, right? Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. My, I think she was like Bernie Sanders' sister. I kid you not. So Bernie Sanders' sister was teaching me. 1776 probably heard this video. So I get she gave me a C, right? Because I had a lot of grammatical errors. I banged this essay out overnight. So then she sat me down like, I don't know what to make about this. You made a lot of grammatical errors here, this here. I don't understand what you're saying about I was like, Professor, English is my second language. I came to this country when I was 5. I did not learn English until I was 15. Professor, I apologize. I'm old. My mind is not there. I work 2 jobs. I come to college to feed my familia. She said, oh, I'm sorry. Say no more. Got an A. Play the game, ladies and gentlemen. Play the game to win. You try to do things the right way. This system is not designed for you. You can't be bad. You can't be good. You gotta be right there in the middle. You gotta be gray. You gotta cover your bases just to get through. Just to get through, ladies and gentlemen. That was just my little rant. I wish I was a boomer in college, ruining kids, shooting patriots on the streets. That Kyle guy, that Kyle kid from last week that shot those three Antifa guys. At first I didn't, I'm not gonna make a video reaction right away. I'm not doing that stuff anymore. Armchair quarterback videos. Like right away, something happens. Right away you gotta make a reaction video about it. I just watch things now. I just think to myself, I'm really annoyed at the world and everybody. The older I get, the more grumpy I get. Everything just bothers me now, except for my cat. I love my cat. My cat is the only thing that brings happiness. I think cats are for lonely people, people that want to be alone like me. People piss me off. This world pisses me off. It's just listen to my 60s music on my transistor radio, on my cat, and just enjoy life until it ends, right? I don't know. I'm just ranting like a boomer because I wish I was one. Yeah, that's what the title says. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving me 16 minutes of your life. I appreciate it. You have a good day. Happy Monday. Enjoy the rest of the week. And have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.